I'm Tanika Meeks, and welcome to the Get Real Vodcast. Please take a moment to subscribe on whatever platform you're either looking at the videos or listening to the audio. Today we're going to get right into the message because I don't want to spend too much time going over my announcements. If I have any, they'll come at the end. So today's topic is our perspectives come from our perceptions. And again, I always like to tell you where the thoughts from my videos come from. I received a comment on my video, "Where are all the good men and women?" I received a lot of comments about, not a lot of comments, I received a few comments about that video, and none of them have been good. It's been mostly from men expressing their kind of frustration with the opposite sex, women, or whomever they may be looking for. So I'm going to read you this comment I received on that video, "Where are all the good men and women?" If you haven't listened to it, please go back and listen to the audio. Or if you want, go back and actually look at the video. It's on YouTube. So this is what the gentleman, which I'm taking it's a gentleman. I don't know the age of this person. When you make comments on YouTube, they don't put all that information on there. So I don't know if this is a young man. I don't know if this is an older man. I don't even know the marital status of this person. This may be somebody who is married, but I'm taking it from the comment they're single. The smart men have checked out and avoid relationships that are nothing but men with vaginas. These so-called women, or in quotations, marry the state, not the man. The only men who want to marry now, deep down, want to destroy their lives in divorce, lose half their stuff, pay alimony and child support. Now you can about imagine when I read that comment, I was taken aback. I'm not gonna lie. And quite frankly, I don't know. I mean, I'm somebody who's on social media a lot. My brother follows social media. If you've listened to or seen any of the Get Real Dating series videos, you know, he follows quite a few of the red pill guys on YouTube. And he looks at quite a bit of that content. And just in general on social media, there seems to be this school of thought, you know, this battle cry for men, that women have lost their minds, that women just, for some reason, men are just unhappy with women. And I don't know if their unhappiness stems from the fact that women are unhappy with men or how that relationship is working, but there just seems to be this overwhelming just presence that men and women, and again, when I say men and women, I'm going to be more specific. I am a black woman. So anytime I talk about this, I am talking about it from the point of view of a black woman. I don't know what's going on between white women and white men. I don't know what's going on between Latino women and Latino men, or Middle Eastern women and Middle Eastern men. I can't speak from that point of view. I'm talking about the relationship between black men and black women. And I want to specify that. I don't want anyone ever to think when I say something, I am talking about all men, all women, all races of people. When I speak, my videos are geared from the point of view of a black woman, and I want to make that clear. So when I'm talking about this topic, I'm talking about it in the context of the relationship between black women and black men. Now, I don't even know if the gentleman who made this comment was a black man. It may not have been. It may have been a man of another race. But in the context of me talking about this, I want to make it very known that I am talking about this in the context of black men and black women. And I say that because that's going to be one of my points today. So again, it's just this overwhelming sense I'm getting that men are not happy with women. And it sounds like for a number of reasons. This is a huge topic. I don't want anybody to think, oh, she's oversimplifying this. This is a huge topic. I mean, there are comments coming from everywhere. Everybody has an opinion on this. It is so much that can be talked about in the context of what's going on between black women and black men. So again, like I said about a lot of things, I don't ever want you to think I'm trying to oversimplify what is a complicated discussion. That is my problem, what I have with a lot of the things I see on either on social media or on YouTube. I feel like people try to oversimplify complicated issues. So again, this is a huge issue and can be discussed. I could probably spend the next year talking about this, and we'll probably have new content every week. This is a huge problem. This is turned into the Grand Canyon between black men and black women. There's a lack of communication. There's a lack of understanding. Black men have become increasingly frustrated with black women. Black women have become increasingly frustrated with black men, which I think that has been going on for a while. It is just, everybody's just unhappy with everybody else. And again, I'm sure this is not nothing new. This did not just come up. It's just now I think men have started being more vocal about how they feel about it. Because a lot of these negative comments are coming from men. Women have long bashed men. No one had anything to say about that. But now that's turned around and now men are doing the same. And it's like, well, where's all this bashing? Where's all this blaming getting? It's not solving the problem. Let's men stop blaming women stop blaming men, and throwing around all this slander. And if this is truly a conversation that needs to be had, maybe it needs to be had. But that's a whole nother tangent. So, I have been seeing things on social media, on YouTube. I saw a post about, a man talking about, women being unfaithful, untrustworthy, manipulative, deceitful, immature. This whole school of thought that, now women are here, chasing high value men. Every woman wants a high value man, which, don't get me started on that, because that irks the complete shit out of me. It is just, the average Joe has somehow got left out of these equations. And there's this whole school of thought that women don't know our place. That, again, like this man said, that these are men with vaginas. Where is this cat crap coming from? And, women don't want to be women. Women don't want to be men. It is just all these hateful comments out here floating around. And it's like, what good is any of this mess doing us? It's not helping the relationships between men and women. And if anything, it seems to be making a lot of men bitter. And some of y'all are bitter. I don't care what y'all say. Most of y'all are very, very bitter, and probably for good reason. But identify that reason. Again, the whole title of this is Perspectives Come From Our Perception. So if you have a bad perspective of women, it's because you've had bad perceptions. You've had bad encounters with women. And so, I want to talk about this in the sense that the blaming, the finger pointing, this kind of hateful rhetoric that to me is just being spewed on the internet, that's being spewed on YouTube, really just kind of acting like women have just gone crazy. That women are changing, men are not changing. Maybe men need to change. Times have changed. You're not going to get a 1950s woman because this is not the 1950s. And maybe the conversation between men and women need to change. And maybe we need to reevaluate what's going on between men and women. Stop the blaming, stop the finger pointing, and have conversations. And I think a lot of people need to sit down, especially when you're watching YouTube, especially there are a lot of men who follow a lot of these red pill guys. A lot of them, if you go to my YouTube page, Alpha Male Strategies, I think it's Fit and Fitness. A lot of these guys my brother follows, and he loves these gentlemen. And to me, even Kevin Samuels, I actually like Kevin Samuels. A lot of people were probably like, oh, how can you like him? He's always bashing women. I don't think nobody's always bashing anybody. I think our perspectives come from our perception. And what we need to realize is that everything these men are saying is their perspective based off of their perceptions, what they have gone through with women, what they have been through with women. And I think the questions we need to start asking ourselves, again, as the public, as people watching these videos. And again, I think for those content creators out there, what you need to start specifying is who you're talking about, who you're talking to, who's the audience of these messages. I will tell you, my YouTube, even in my podcast, is geared towards black women. And I'm not talking about young black women. I am an older woman. I am talking to older women. I can't relate to what a 21-year-old black woman is going through today. I left my 20s a long time ago. I can't even relate to what a young black man is going through. That's why my son does the Millennial series. I'm not going to go out here and try to talk to an audience that I will struggle to relate to. I'm not an older woman. I'm not a young woman. I'm not in my 50s or 60s, and I'm not in my 20s. I'm 40 years old. So my audience to me is about that women between that 30 to 50 range. That's who I'm talking to. That is my audience. That is who my podcasts and my videos are geared towards. And I think when people make these videos, especially men out here with this male bashing, be very specific who you're talking to and give people the perceptions that go into these perspectives. Because I hate when I see these videos or I hear, because I get it. If any of you have seen the Get Real Dating series, the last one between me and my brother, the looks on my face were kind of shocking because he hit me with some stuff that I was just like, whoo, where did that come from? You know, my brother now has become a red pill man. You know, he is a diehard fan of a lot of these YouTube channels. And I don't blame him. He likes their perspective. And so me and him, we y'all see it once a month video. We know me and my brother talk either every day or every other day. And I find myself more and more having to defend myself as a woman against these attacks. Let me be very clear about something. Let me throw out some information that I think people need to think about. Nobody ever should be using the word all, because nobody in this world, no man has dated all women and no woman has dated all men. There are 3.9 billion males in this world. There are 3.8 billion females in this world. Nobody has dated all men. No man has dated all women. Keep that into perspective. Now, some of them will be like, well, we're just talking about the women in the United States. Okay, well, let's talk about that. As of 2019, there were 162 million males in the United States. There were 167 million females in the United States. So you getting around like that? All you men who keep talking about most females, what is most females? Are we talking about 150 million? Are we talking about 100 million? Are we talking about 50 million? When you say most, what are we talking about? Because not all men are the same and not all women are the same. So when y'all get to throwing around these words, all or most or women, what are you talking about? Let's get some clarification into some of these conversations. Because these blanket statements that these men are making about women doesn't make any damn sense. What y'all are talking about are based off y'all perceptions with women. And I can almost bet you, if you talk to any one of these men, y'all have a particular type of woman y'all talking about. But y'all don't specify that. Y'all make it seem like these are all women. And there are 167 million women in the United States. Are you telling me you don't went out there and dated and fucked all these women? Because if you have, your dick needs to be made a national monument. No man has dealt with all women, just like no woman has dealt with all men. And to make these comments is ignorant. So when y'all make these videos, and as the public, we need to start asking these questions. What are you talking about? Who are you talking about? I can bet you they are just as like there are men who out there who are dogs, who are no good, who don't take care of their kids, who don't want to work, who are lazy. You can find a woman in every one of those categories who are unfaithful, who are immature, who are petty, who are gold diggers. It takes a lot of people to make this world go around. And regardless of how negative the comment, you will find men and women who fit that comment. And that's just a sad reality. It's a sad truth. But remember, just like with me, when I've talked about my earlier videos, when I talk about men, and I thank God for this in my life, most of the men I've dealt with, and it's a small group of men, trust me, when I say most of the men I'm talking about 20, 30 men. That's why I don't use the word all. I'm talking about the small encounters Tanika have had with men. They've been all bad there, as far as romantic relationships. But the good thing for me is I had male friends. I had older male like father figures in my life who helped me to realize that wasn't all men. And there are good men out here. And so for me to base my perspective off these bad encounters I had with men and then come to the conclusion that all men are bad didn't make any sense. I wasn't going to take this small pool of men that I had had a bad encounter with and then judge all men, because that's unfair. Because there are a lot of good men out there. And again, I will forever say that. Now, yes, you will meet your dogs. Yes, you will meet your men who don't want to work, don't want to take care of their kids, just don't want to do nothing, just here taking up oxygen for no reason. But I also knew that wasn't all men, because I knew good men. I had good male friends. I had, like I said, good male father figures in my life. And so that helped me balance the bad I was seeing from these very horrible romantic relationships. And as the public, when we see these videos, when you're listening to these podcasts or however you're seeing these men and women, and I'm talking about women too, there are women out there who male bashing. Ask yourself this question. Where do you're hearing their perspective, but what makes up those perceptions? When I hear men say, oh, I feel this way because I've gotten my heart broken, talk to me about the women you've dated. Tell me who they are, because I can almost bet you there's a preference or a type in there. You're talking about a particular type of woman. We all have types. We all have preferences. So if you're dating the same type of woman and getting the same results, and it's making you jaded towards women, don't put that on all women. That's not an all women thing. That's the women you've encountered, and make sure you keep that into perspective. A lot of these men don't tell you how many women they're talking about. How many women have you been out there in relationships with versus how many women have you had sex with? So if your relationship count is, I've been in, 5, 6 relationships, but your body count is in the hundreds, that's different. That's a different perspective. So we as the audience, and you know what, I'm talking about myself too. If you look at my videos and be like, oh, I think Tanika being hateful, hit me up on my perception. Ask me, where did that perception come from? I hear your perspective, but let's get to the background behind it, because there is background behind it. Our perspective is made up of our perceptions. And so we hear the perspective all day long. Well, women this, women that, men this, men that, da-da-da. Everybody got a damn opinion. But what makes up that opinion? Let's talk about that. And so when I hear these men out here to all women want high value man, I'm going to talk about myself. We're going to put Tanika on the chair today. I'm not looking for a high value man. I want a man who's going to treat me the way I want to be treated. I'm not concerned about his bank account, because I'm not trying to date his bank account. I'm not trying to marry his bank account. I want to know the content of that man. I don't care if he work at Death and Ball, running around in a trash truck. As long as he treats me in the way that I want to be treated, then he's a good man in my book. I'm not concerned about how much money a guy got. I'm not looking for somebody to be out here simping on me. I'm too damn mature for that, and I know how to take care of my damn self. I want a man who's going to add value to my life. Now, if he want to put a little extra in my bank account, I'm not going to be like, oh no, keep your money. But that's not what I'm looking for in a man. I don't need a sponsor. I'm not looking for somebody to sponsor my life. I'm looking for somebody to be a part of my life. I'm looking for someone to share my life with. And so when I hear these comments, well, oh, women are here looking for high value men. Well, that's not me. And my brother done deemed me an outlier. He was like, well, you're one of the exceptions to the rule. Am I? Am I the only woman out here, or am I a part of a small women? Of course, in the United States, there are 167 million females. I want to keep throwing that figure out there. So people telling me Tanika is in a small margin of women who are not out there looking for high value men, I don't believe that. A lot of these videos, a lot of these podcasts that these men are putting out there, y'all not checking for normal women like me who out here working a 9 to 5. Most of these guys will literally shove me down by my head to get to some bad bitch in a bikini or some boss bitch who look good. But yet, when y'all talk bad about women, I get thrown in that slander too. Although most of y'all wouldn't date me. Matter of fact, I would go as far as say none of y'all would date me. But yet, I have to defend myself against the slander from the women y'all are encountering. Y'all wouldn't give me a chance. Y'all ain't checking for Tanika. Y'all ain't checking for women like Tanika. But when y'all slander, y'all don't exclude me. Well, I'm not talking about women who work a 9 to 5, who out here handling their business. No, I don't see those. Well, these are the women I'm not talking about. I hear most women. So you wouldn't date me, but I have to be a victim of your slander. Trust me. My sister even got on to me about my video. She's like, why you always get on t-shirts and sweats? That's me. What you see today is who I am. Look, I need to go get my hair cut. Ain't even done that. Been too lazy. Ain't made an appointment to go to the barbershop, get my sides cut down. Most of the time I don't have on makeup. Most of the time you'll see me in a t-shirt and sweats. That's my normal, and tennis shoes. I'm not one of those fly women out here. I'm not one of that 1% of women out here who just know they just uber beautiful. Am I a nice looking woman? Yes, absolutely. But I don't play in that league, and I'm not trying to. And I hate when I have to catch slack and slander because y'all out here chasing a big butt and a smile. And then when she turn y'all down, which, let's be real, that's called rejection. And at some point we're all going to go through it. So get out of y'all feelings about it. Because y'all keep dating the same type of woman. And I want to make this another point too, because I feel like we as men and women have forgotten this. And so I do want to throw this out here. Have I turned down my fair share of men? Yes. I don't just date anybody because they want to date me. And I do feel like a lot of men are bitter because y'all want to date a certain type of woman and she doesn't want to date y'all. And so that makes y'all angry. Nobody owes you anything in the dating game. Just because you approach me, if you're not attractive to me, I don't owe you my time. I don't owe you a date. I don't owe you anything. I'm not obligated to entertain you. Get over it. That's called being an adult. We all have preferences. We all have types that we like. And if you don't fit my particular preference or type, don't get mad at me about it. Don't get to calling me names. Oh, all women is all. No, you just not my type. And that's okay. Again, it's called rejection. Take it like a man. Take it in the chin and keep it moving. There have been plenty of gorgeous men that I've seen, but I knew I was not those men's type. And it wasn't for me. Oh, men are the same. They just want a big butt and a smile. I'm so mad and bitter. About what? I can't get mad at somebody because I'm not their type. Hey, that just lets me know. Let me keep it moving. I'm not going to waste my time out here chasing this dude. And this whole bitterness with men that just because you want to talk to a certain type of woman and she don't want to talk to you, there's no reason to get bitter about that. There's no reason to get mad about that. That's human nature. I don't care how much money a man had. If I'm not attracted to you, there's no point in me trying to be bothered with you. I don't know why people act like they don't understand that. Like, I'm at a loss for words for some of this stuff. So just because you want to date me and you're not attractive to me, you mad at me because I don't want to be bothered with you? What you should be doing is thanking me for not wasting your time and running through your money. But no, I get slandered. Perhaps what we need to do is, again, bring realism back in the dating game and bring rejection back into the dating game, because it's okay for a woman to turn you down, just like it's okay for a man to turn a woman down. If he's not interested, he's not interested. That's all it is to it. Just like if she's not interested, she's not interested. That's all it is to it. Don't make it any more complicated than it has to be. This whole bitterness between men and women is not doing anybody any good. And to me, this, okay, well, I'm red pill, I'm blue pill, da 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 da. You're human at the end of the day. And I'm going to ask a lot of these men this. If y'all so fed up with women and they bullshit, why are y'all even being bothered with these chicks? Just be like, you know what? I'm going to be an abstinent man and women can have this shit. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all just want to complain about it and make these hateful ass videos. Or, which to me is even worse, sit and dog women, but then bring on y'all shows the same type of women y'all dogging. So let's perpetuate the stereotype. I'm going to bring these bimbos and airheads on the show, but then I'm going to spend my entire show talking about how women ain't shit. That's interesting. I'm starting to wonder who has the problem here. And why are y'all making y'all problems the general public's problems? It's okay to have conversations about dating. It's okay to have an opinion one way or another. But if you're going to put that opinion out there, make sure you put the background behind that opinion. And make sure people know whom you're talking about. So they don't make this blanket statement, it's all women or most women. Because no, it's not. I can promise you, no man has ever dated all women. And no woman has ever dated all men. So let's clear that up right now. And if someone gonna say most, okay. Throw a figure out there. If you're talking about most women, if we're talking about the United States, we're talking about 167 million, and I'm rounding up. Let me clarify that. As somebody who knows numbers, I'm rounding up. 167 million women. So if you're talking about most women, hit me with a figure. I like details. I like clarification. I'm not going to take your word for face value. And I hope nobody takes my word for face value. Call me out on my shit. Just like we need to start calling some of these people out on their shit. And that's why, as men and women, we need to stop looking for people to cater to our insecurities. Women need to stop looking for men who be like, yeah, all men are dogs. All these queens out here. And I think men need to stop looking for these men to be like, all women out here just looking for dudes' pockets. They out here trying to chase jerseys. And I'm not chasing nobody's jersey. And I'm not chasing nobody's pocketbook. Believe me, I'm very well acquainted with a 9-to-5. I'm very well acquainted with working and taking care of myself. All these little kind of hateful bashing of the opposite sex needs to stop. If there are conversations that need to be had, let's have them. But all this other, I don't get. And I don't get what good is doing anybody. It's not helping the relationship between men and women. If conversations need to be had, then let's have them in a healthy, productive manner. But all this finger pointing and blaming and this, that, and other, and yada, 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 what good is that doing anybody? It's not helping our young men and women. And by the way, to this young man, whoever this person was who wrote this comment, please seek some type of counseling or get your ass off YouTube. Because you're not going to find the answers you seek on YouTube. And if you're that bitter towards women, you need to stop dealing with women, period. If that's the way you truly feel, because let's face it, what starts in our mind flows right into our actions. And if I was a woman and I met a man saying this type of crap, oh, boo, we'd have to call it cuts. I wouldn't want to deal with you. You bitter and jaded. And I don't have time to be trying to fight your perceptions. That's for you to do, not for me to do for you. If that is truly how you feel about women, if I was you, I wouldn't even deal with women. Be okay being single, however old you are, the rest of your life. Because that's just going to make for a miserable, miserable relationship. Not all women are like this. Not all women are out here looking to take half a man's stuff and make a man pay alimony and child support. That is not all women. It may not even be most women. I don't know what percentage of women it is. Now, are there some women out there like that? Yeah. But there are some women out there like a lot of things. There are some women, as I said, every negative thing you can imagine, there are some people, male and female, out there who are like that. And unfortunately, sometimes we keep encountering those people over and over and over again. And we keep getting hurt over and over and over again. But again, that's some people. That's not all people. And that's not most people. And we need to come to that realization right now. If you've been in 5 relationships and they've all been bad, that's not all women. Just like that's not all men. You've been in 5 relationships that have been bad. Keep that in perspective. And maybe the type of person you're dating is not the right type of person. Maybe you need to evaluate you. But don't try to put that on all women are like this. So you done ran through that 167 million. That's interesting. You must get a lot of money and time on your hands. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm saying that to bring perspective to some of this crap. I tell my brother, nobody in the world should ever use the word all. All of nobody is like nothing. All women are not this. All men are not that. All should never be used in any context. Now I can speak of my own, like all the guys I have dated have not been shit. And I can say that. But for me to say all men ain't shit, that's not a correct statement. Because there are a lot of wonderful men out there. Just like there are a lot of wonderful women out there. So I wanted to make this video because I feel like we need some perspective on a lot of these things. And when you see these videos, when you see these men or women, whoever out there making these videos, the first thing that should run through your mind is, who are they talking about? What are their perceptions that make up their perspectives? You know, you're talking about women, but who are these women you're talking about? Are you talking about 10, 20 relationships you've been in? You're talking about 50, 60 relationships you've been in? You're talking about 80, 90 women you've dealt with? What are we talking about? Give me some specifics so I can understand. And so that way I can understand your perception. I'm hearing your perspective, but let's understand the perception. Well, what happened? What are these situations that you've been in that have given you that perspective? That way we can all be on the same page. And that way I can understand whether I need to take what you say with a grain of salt. There are sometimes I hear people say stuff and I'm like, I agree with that. And then I hear people say stuff and I'm like, I got to think about that one. I don't quite know if I agree with that. But again, I may have had different experiences that shaped my perspective on it. And they may have had negative experiences, and that's why they feel the way they feel about it. You may have had positive experiences. That's why you feel the way you feel about it. That's all balance. That's why having a healthy perspective is the best thing any of us could have. Too much bad in anything warps our perspective because it gives us bad perceptions. Think about this crap. Think about these videos you were saying. Think about these men and women out here who are giving this advice. What is y'all history? What have y'all been through? What qualifies you to be out here saying what you're saying? Now, if you're saying, hey, it's based off experience, then tell me about these experiences. Who have you been dealing with? What type of women are these? Are you talking about little 9-to-5 average Joe women like Tanika, which I know you're not? Are you talking about these bad bitches who out here are on these Beyonce lookalikes? Those are 2 different type of women. So if you're talking about the women over here, let's be clear about that. So that way, these average Joe women aren't getting slandered in the process. Because trust me, ain't nobody checking for me. Ain't nobody out here blowing Tanika's phone up. Even when I go to the beach, I wear one piece. I'm not out here in some bikini with my boobies and my booty out. I need to lose weight for that. I need to get in shape. I'll be the first to admit that. So if you're talking about average Joe women, please clarify that. That way I know, like, okay, he's talking about average women. But if you're talking about these boss bitches and bad bitches, please clarify that too. That way I can be like, okay, he's not talking about me. That ain't got nothing over there to do with me. So let Tanika go sit down and mind her business. But please don't try to put us all in the same category because that's not fair. I don't play in the league they play in. And I'm not out here doing what they doing. And please don't slander me while you're trying to slander them. And I don't like having to fight those perceptions. I don't like having to fight that perspective. Because I'm not out here doing what they doing. And they definitely ain't out here working my little 9 to 5, busting my ass Monday through Friday. Trust. They out here on somebody's beach while I'm in somebody's office. Those are two totally different type of perspectives. So I'm Tanika Meeks. This is the Get Real Vodcast. New content will be posted every Saturday. If you haven't done it, please take a moment to go out there and Exposure. Check out Exposure on Live 365. There is a link on my website, www.tmgetreal.com. Check out the Exposure exclusives. Right now there is Guardian, Dark Forest, Snow, and A Dog's Life will be up next week. Great shows. I have wrote them. I narrate them. I'm sorry I have to hear my voice so much. But until I can start paying people to do it, y'all just gonna have to hang in there with me. I really wanted to throw my 2 cents in on this topic that I feel like really, I think people are oversimplifying it too much. But even more for those of us who are listening, take that step back and get some perspective on it. And if you really feel what these guys are talking about, ask them about the perceptions. What happened that you feel this way? Because trust me, there's a story behind everything. There's always a story behind everything. And maybe you just need to hear that story. Maybe you need to hear about that woman who broke their heart. Maybe you need to hear about that woman they were madly in love with and she just treated them like crap. But again, that's her. That's not all women. And all women should not be made or should not be slandered and made to look like bad people because of the actions of a few women. That's not right. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. I'm giving y'all my opinion on everything. If you have any comments, feedbacks, hey, leave them on YouTube. Please don't leave it in hateful comments on my YouTube. Look, there's enough negativity in the world. I don't have the patience for that crap. Or you can leave them on my website, www.tmgetreal.com. Until I talk to you guys next week, love you guys.